men of the Struts, constantly strong sunglasses and hat game. Like every time I see you guys, it's amazing.
That's just fatigue to hide behind nothing.
Yeah, you guys have been busy. You got a few days off though, but you look tan. When did you
I
get
got
back
a
to
bit
the
too
States?
much sun yesterday. My face feels like a leather handbag.
Oh,
You know when you have that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Aloe.
I'm so pale anyway. It's insane.
When did you guys get back to the States?
it was about a month or so ago, wasn't it? Maybe more. It feels like, I don't know, 5 weeks ago. So we've kind of been here. It just feels like this is where we've been for the last 3 years, really. Because if we do go back to the UK, we're there maybe for 2 or 3 weeks tops, and then we'll spend like another 6 months here, and then maybe a week in Japan. But mainly the States has been the closest thing to a home we've had for a while. So in this particular window, I think about 6 weeks ago, we started rehearsals in Nashville before this tour.
Yeah, you guys, fresh off of the Foo Fighter Tour. By the way, major props in Rolling Stones. How did it feel to read that book about you specifically?
Oh,
and about the
yeah.
band?
That was really cool.
We called you one of the greatest opening acts the Foo Fighters have ever seen, which is like huge words. Does it make you guys feel this kind of burden of responsibility as you move forward?
Don't think about it.
You just go for it?
It was lovely for him to say, and I think that he genuinely means it, which is really nice of him. But if you think about it too much, it just becomes too much pressure.
There was a lot of interaction as far as social media goes between you guys and the Foo Fighters on that tour.
Yeah.
How different was that tour compared to some of the other tours you guys have done with, other acts that you've either supported or that, have supported you?
It was night and day, really. Firstly, we've never done a support run that long, ever. More than, the Stones was one-off show, and then we did 2 shows of them. And then, like the Killers was a one-off show. I guess Motley Crue was 4 dates and 5 days, 4 nights kind of thing. So we got to hang out with them a little bit. But with the Foos, it was like not just the band. It was everyone. It was their crew. It was like this giant kind of family that we kind of got embraced into, and the band included as well.
And
the Foos. Oh my
Foos,
god.
yeah.
And what was it like having their audience kind of get introduced to you as the opening act? And I'm sure there were people coming up to you throughout the tour, after the show, say, I've never seen you guys before, and taking you in for the first time. What was that kind of interaction with those fans?
We're definitely seeing it now on this tour.
The Foo fans are amazing.
This is the best tour we've done as of yet ever, and all of them, it's insane. When I asked people how many are seeing us for the first time, and it's probably about well over half of the audience is probably 1 seeing us for the first time, 2 probably because of the Foo Fighters. I'll move the water for you. Don't worry. But they honestly, I think their audience in particular is they can appreciate like a band that goes out there and really works hard to get an audience going. And when I started getting up on stage with Taylor and the rest of the band doing Under Pressure, I think that in itself kind of started to spread between their fans, and then there was kind of like this people just were suddenly starting to get interested, like, well, who is this band? Why is he coming on stage with them? Why is Dave giving them so much praise? So it was, we had a lot of focus sort of about, I'd say, after 4 or 5 weeks of touring.
So with that happening, what started that whole you coming on stage with them to do Under Pressure?
Well, me and Ads actually met Taylor in Napa, and
That sounds so bougie.
we were we were
after Bottle Rock, wasn't it?
Yeah,
after
bottle of water back, right?
after Bottle Rock, and he was there with his covers band called Chevy Metal, and he had a bunch of his friends in town like Chad Smith and Flea, and it was really cool. And we were asked if we would play a couple of Queen tracks with him, and of course we said yes. So we had this kind of like rapport, before getting on tour with them. So we were always chatting about Queen, and Taylor from the word go was like, we gotta get you up, man. So I just kind of like took it with a pinch of salt and was just, I'm not like that. I don't sort of like, hey man, when are we doing it?
Right.
But it kind of like 3 weeks went by after him saying it again and again, and I was kind of like, are we ever gonna kind of like do that? Like, what are you thinking, you know? And then he was like, well, if you're at side of stage and we do Under Pressure tonight, then we'll just see what happens. And I was like, okay.
I'll be there.
So I was there, all dressed up like,
Just in case it happens.
hi, and then we did it. It went down really well. Dave seemed to really enjoy it. And we walked off stage, and then we were leaving the venue earlier. This goes to show how long they play. We were packing up and leaving to get on our bus as they were in between their kind of like encore, hanging out backstage.
Yeah.
Right? Just before they go on and do like another like 45 minutes or whatever. And Dave like came running up to me and he was like, we gotta do that every fucking night. So I was like, okay. And then it just carried on after that. We ended up doing it as well in Paris at Download Festival, which was bizarre because we were on the same stage but very early in the day. I think like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
And, you know, the Foos were headlining, and we were sharing the stage with like Hives was like main support to them. And so anyway, I get up on stage and do the Under Pressure thing, and everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, like all these UK bands and European bands, and it was a big surprise for them.
Well, you're a killer frontman and also amazing on social media. I would say, as I follow you guys all everywhere, Instagram is probably each of your best individual follow. Like, you every once in a while go on @ADDO Struts, right?
That's me.
You go on and just sometimes play the guitar and give this like beautiful breath of 15 seconds on Instagram. And y'all are always cruising and traveling somewhere. Would you say that Instagram is also the best place for fans to connect with each of you individually, or do you have another social site you love more?
No, I'd say Insta's probably.
Well, you're an artist, so everything you do is visual. If you don't follow Luke, it's Luke Struts, right? @Luke Struts. And we crafted together, so I maybe am a bit favored towards the whole on there. Yeah, a little bit. But still, I mean, amazing. And can you share your favorite handles? What your favorite social media sites are you guys like to interact on?
We made a new friend the other day called Pooch of NYC. He's the cutest dog that you'll ever meet.
Actually,
now he's actually part of the band. He comes to New York, sound checks with us.
He came when we played Madison Square Garden with the Foos. We said, I think Gethin slid into his DMs and said, "You have beautiful fur. Would you like to come to Madison Square Garden?"
Yeah, I want to throw you some bones and bring you back. And who can say no to that?
So he showed up in his little denim jacket, his shades, this little dog, seriously. And we had a photo with him that ended up being in Rolling Stone.
Yes,
That's hilarious.
So he was thrilled to come down that
No,
day.
it ended up in Rolling Stone.
It was the day of. It was on their Instagram story. Funny enough.
We love doing things for the environment, our company Intercom, and so we always like to ask if each of you wouldn't mind answering what you think the one thing you do for the environment is daily. Like in our house, we say don't be a watt waster, and so we're constantly turning lights off in rooms where nobody is in.
Right.
Do you guys have a band, as a band, do something collectively?
We do this every day with our water bottles. We go out there, we crush them, we pop the lid on, and then we pop it in the recycle bin.
Well,
that's more for us
actually,
than for the environment.
touring is probably the worst thing. One of the worst things that you can do if you're environmentally kind of like aware, because we can't recycle.
Right.
We have two we have 2 bikes in the back lounge that we're constantly on to keep the generator going.
All right, I like
Because
that.
we don't like guzzling all that fuel.
Actually,
so.
no, I've got a very good answer that we do. I mean, I don't know whether it was... Yeah, it was consciously for the environment. These two both bought electric motocross bikes. So rather than getting Ubers once in a while, Luke will take his motorbike with his girlfriend on the back and all their bags, and they'll ride to the hotel for a quick shower before the show.
That's dangerous.
Or a little something to eat, coffee shop.
Right.
Yeah. But I do like them. I mean, it is nice to know that it's kind of, you don't have to be pumping it with fuel or anything like that, which is nice.
That's true.
I think when we actually get the time to... One of my friends has just bought a Tesla, and when as soon as I tracked one journey in it, I was like, yeah, this is when I finally can be in a position to actually buy a car.
The big giant
I have somewhere to
iPhone.
live.
The giant
the huge
iPhone.
iPhone on the dash.
It's so
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So we've but the idea of an electric... I've heard a lot of people were taking classic cars and fitting them... A lot of the companies were encouraging them to be fitted with electric batteries to kind of keep them alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that would be amazing, like a chassis of like an old. I don't know, some people feel funny about that, but actually it was good for the environment and it
I
still
know
is
that it's going to
classic.
support that engine. I don't know if that's necessarily going to work.
I think
I
the
have a
Teslas
little-
can go 0 to 60.
I just go
in like
full
seconds.
Flintstone with it. I take the- I just take
Yeah,
the
take
it
bottom.
later.
That's
Yeah.
like a thing they're doing now. You know that, right? Where
It's
you
my
can like
thing,
get
my
into a
thing.
car. You should really double down on that. 'cause-
That's what our bus is. When we're not on the bikes in the back, we're just fucking running in the front, dragging this big ass bus around the world.
I love it. The Men of the Struts. Thanks for coming back, guys, and doing this for us
Thank you
today.
for having us.
Thank you.